Welcome to another VeVe Digital Collectibles comic breakdown, and today from Marvel, you're getting a chance to own a thick and landmark comic from Marvel. Amazing Spider-Man number 700. This one is sporting 97 pages, 4 unique variant covers that all replicate the physical world. And if you're a Spider-Man fan, this is an essential comic to add to your growing VeVe collection. And we're going to talk about it all because there's a lot to unpack. But first, let's go over the drop details. Amazing Spider-Man 700 is scheduled for release on Tuesday, November 7th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Meaning 7.5K editions across the 5 rarities, this comic has a retail price of 6.99 gems. The first awesome takeaway is kind of obvious, but this is the 700th issue according to legacy numbering. And this gigantic comic does a tremendous job of showing you just how many comics that is by providing this epic cover spread breakdown at the end. It's wild seeing all these covers being displayed across 7 back pages. With this comic publishing in 2012, it landed on the 50th anniversary of the Web Slinger. Marvel didn't pull any punches with this comic and this story. With writing by Dan Slott, we would see the apparent fall and death of Peter Parker and the rise of Doc Ock as the superior Spider-Man. But one story wasn't enough. Nope, J.M. DeMatteis and Jan Van Meter both have features in this comic as well. DeMatteis' story Spider Dream shows a much older web slinger reminiscing with his grandson about the good old days. And Van Meter's Date Night provides a colorful depiction of a date night gone wrong between Spider-Man and Black Cat. At this point, you might be thinking, that is a lot of content. There's a lot of pages. We're not even done yet. You'll find 7 full pages of Spider-Mail questions, each answered by the legendary Stan Lee himself. And the assistant editor at the time, Ellie Pyle, gave sneak peeks of the artist's desks, which featured yet to be published prints and panels. In Marvel fashion, this 700th issue also featured a whole bunch of variants, and we're getting 4 of the best ones here on VeVe, to include one from the incomparable Steve Ditko. Let's look at all the variants and the editions to be minted. First, the common classic cover is minting 4,500 editions. This was the standard trade cover, and it's a beauty. This was created by the famed French comic collage artist known only as Mr Garcin. He's done many works for Marvel, but each one is cut out by hand from hundreds of comics, and then assembled in a process that takes more than a month. Next, the uncommon vintage variant is minting 1,687 editions. This cover shows off the second series Skyline variant by Marcos Martin. What you're seeing here is a comprehensive list of the names and talent that managed to make Spider-Man one of the most popular and well-known characters in the world. And if you're curious, there's over 300 names listed. Swinging in is the rare hero variant, minting 750 editions. Olivier Coipel's variant provides a classic yet unique take. The skewed city perspective with Spider-Man centered makes this feel like it could be a poster. And Coipel blew everyone away with his art when he debuted at Marvel with House of M back in 2005. And he's continued to be a fan favorite ever since. Next, the ultra-rare Vibranium variant is minting 375 editions, and the artist for this one, Marvel great Steve Ditko, homaged his own cover, Amazing Fantasy 15, that he had created with Jack Kirby back in 1962. Talk about the ultimate callback and tribute. This was a limited 1-for-200 variant, and if you're a fan of the legacy and history of Spider-Man, it doesn't get much better than this. Finally, the super rare True Believer variant is minting 188 editions. The interior art for this variant cover features the final page for what was to be the final comic for Peter Parker. A bittersweet moment where Peter Parker reforms one of his greatest villains and charges him with becoming something more than just a Spider-Man imposter. Doc Ock would accept the harrowing responsibility of becoming the superior Spider-Man. And that's a wrap for this breakdown video, with Superior Spider-Man Returns #1 just releasing at New York Comic Con. I got it up on the shelf over there. It's really cool to see this comic landing as it introduced the concept of the superior Spider-Man. With that said, best of luck if you decide to go for this one. Until the next video, keep learning, sharing, and collecting what you love. This is Corey with VeVe, signing off.